Okay, so what I was saying that when you are using WinSCP in FileZilla, so many times in real time scenarios you might need to use when you are working with Linux servers. Okay, so you might need to use any of the tools for copying the files or data from the local system to your remote servers. Okay, so to do that you have to use that tools. There are other tools also, like, but most of them they will work in the same way. You have to put the username and password and everything, and it will connect. So there are multiple tools, but most common ones are the FileZilla and WinSCP that you will see in most of the organizations. But there is one more tool called as Core FTP that is also there. So there are multiple solutions that are available. So these are needed. VI editor is fine when you are writing, but if you want to copy some file from your normal systems, then it will be a problem. Like there are a lot of times when you are processing certain files, let's say there are some bank files that your application is processing. So if you want to copy those type of files, you might need to use this WinSCP. Okay, and also try to see there is an option of binary transfer. Okay, so try to use binary transfer mode, not the ASCII transfer mode. Okay, binary transfer mode, there is an option. If you go to the settings, there is an option for binary transfer. Okay, if you are trying to transfer ASCII model, so there are chances that it will have junk characters at the end. Okay, so mostly it needs to transfer in the binary format. Binary format, it doesn't do anything with the file, but in ASCII format, whenever someone is transferring, so it tries to append some special characters that are control M characters that actually corrupts your file. Okay, so try to use binary format while transferring. Yeah. So that, if I show it from here, if I go here, so we download. So there is a mode. I think you can see my screen, right? So that mode is in both, whether you are in FileZilla or on your WinSCP. That mode will be available in both systems, and this is your FileZilla. Okay, so whenever you are transferring, right, so if you go to the transfer mode, transfer type, so by default it picks auto, but normally select as binary. Okay, because text files and everything, it will not treat it as binary, so by default make the transfer type as binary. So it will take binary, so whatever data is transferring, it will treat it as an executable or binary, and it will not allow anything to append to that file. Okay, because this is Windows format and this is Linux, right? So because your source and target are different, so that's why you might see that control M characters coming there. So to avoid such, you have to make sure it should be your binary format. Okay. So now coming back here. Okay. So we have seen like how to create empty files, right? We have seen how to create empty files or copy from your normal local system to the server. Okay. Now we will see, let's say I want to edit the file on my server itself, right? I want to edit my file on the server itself. So what should I do? So there is a tool called as VI editor. It is, you will see somewhere it is called VI View or Vim. Okay, Vim is called as VI improved. Okay, so that is the name Vim. So anything you can use, but most probably the VI would be available in any flavor of Linux. Whether you are working on Ubuntu, whether you are working on Red Hat Linux, or whether you are working on HP UX, AIX servers, any type of servers operating system, VI editor would be there in each operating system. So it's the same across any type of operating system you are working on. Okay, it is not going to change, and it is one of the most common tool for using and editing manipulating files on Linux based systems. Okay, so you will see VI editor in any of those. So VI is most common. Other also editors are there, which is called as Nano, Pico. Okay, they are different editors, but they don't come by default. You might need to install. Somewhere you will see it is by default, somewhere it might not be. So let's say if in my server, if I do which Nano, okay, so it's not installed. So by default Nano, Pico, these type of editors are not there. You have to separately install them. But if you do which VI, okay, so VI is by default there. So VI is a tool. So which command, what we are seeing here is which command. Okay, so which command tells you if you want to use a particular tools or utility, from where it will pick that utility, where is that utility present on a system. So that is your which command. Okay, like we were using which, and let's say we were using ls command earlier, so it will say okay, ls command is coming from usr bin lsr ls. Okay, so the utility is present in this location, usr bin. Okay, so most of the utilities you will see in the usr bin directory only. Okay, so this is ls. So which command will tell you whether that particular command that you are trying to run is available on your system or not. Okay, so let's say last time what we did, say a script. Okay, so this was the script, right? So if I try to do which this script, this will not work. Okay, this doesn't know where is this script. Script is still here, but it doesn't know, which doesn't know where is that script. So that's why you might not be able to get that script directly. Okay, how to do that we will see maybe tomorrow. Okay, when we will be talking about the variables and the paths. Okay, so which is quite useful. Any doubts till now? Okay, so now when we say VI editor, okay, so VI is the common editor that whenever you are working on Linux environment you should be knowing the VI editor. Okay, and as I told, it's available on all of your Unix systems. Okay, so any type of Unix system you will see, you will be seeing on all Unix system, and that was like one of the initial editors that was there whenever the Linux or the Unix systems were built. Okay, and it's quite helpful when you talk in terms of resource consumption. So it will not consume much resources. Okay, it's a very basic and quick editor for your tasks. Okay, now so to start with, let's say VI. So the command is VI and your file name. Okay, my first file. Okay, so if this file doesn't exist, it will create it. If this file exists, it will open it for editing. Okay, so there are two things. If you are doing VI and your specific file name, so that means it will create that file if it doesn't exist, or it will simply go ahead and open that file as well. Clear? If it's already present. Okay, also you have an option. Let's say I will first try to open first script. Okay, sorry, I'm not complete. VI. Okay, so if I just do this, it will open me already present file, and it's open now. If I want to make any changes, I can go ahead and make the changes to this particular file here. Clear? And hit quit, and it will come out. Now the same file, if I want to open in read only mode. Okay, so there is an option if you want to open in read only mode. Okay, and let's say first script.sh. Okay, so if you see, file is open same way, but at the bottom if you see, this is only read only, so you will not be allowed to make any changes to this file. Okay, you can just read it. So if you are not going to change the file and you just want to read that file, so better to use -R, capital R option, to make sure that you are opening the file in read only, and even if you try to add something, it will not allow you to add. Okay, it will not allow you. See, it is saying it's a changing a read only file, and it will not allow you to insert anything to this file. Okay, got it? Okay, so let's say, let me create a new file where we will see how the VI works. First new file. Okay, so with file, as I told earlier also, no extension is required. Okay, extension doesn't justify how your file is there in Linux. Okay, it's just for our own benefit. It doesn't matter how that particular file is there. So if I go ahead and do first new file.txt, that will also work. If I do .sh, that will also work. .log, that will also work. Okay, anything you can mention, but it will be based on what type of file you are creating. Okay, if I am creating a shell script, I will prefer to use .sh, so that it's easy for me to identify that in this there is a shell script code written. Okay, so for now I will just create a normal text file. Even if I don't give .txt, that will still be a file, and still you will be able to use the same way. Okay, so extension doesn't define here. Okay, so as soon as I hit enter, you will see a file opened, and it will give you the name of the file that you have opened right now. So it's a new file, so it will open a new file because this file was not existing in the directory where I am creating it. Okay, so this is my new file here. Got it? Okay, so now if you see here this sign, the tilde sign, this means that these lines are not used. Okay, so every blank line will be shown as a tilde sign, that it is not used. Clear? Now with VI, we have two modes called as command mode and insert mode. Okay, so now there are two modes with the VI. So right now what you see, by default whenever you will use VI to open a file or to create a new file, it will open in a command mode. Okay, so command mode, what it will do, it will be used for, let's say, copy and pasting, cutting a line, deleting a line, exiting a file, saving a file. So that all will come under command mode. Whereas insert mode means when you want to insert some data, delete some data, okay, while typing. So that will be your insert mode. Insert mode is same like your normal notepad. If you open a notepad, start typing, you want to delete some content, you will delete simply, right? So insert mode works in the same way. Whereas command mode has lot of different functionalities when you are working in a command mode. Clear? So by default, the system will always open the file in the command mode. Got it? Now, to go into command mode, what you have to do? Command mode, what you have to do? You have to use escape sign, escape key. So escape key will take you into command mode. And to go into insert mode, what you will do? You have to press I. Okay, simple I. Nothing shift, nothing, no other keys, only simple I. That will take you to insert mode. Okay, so I will show it here. So sorry, okay, so right now I am in command mode. If I want to go into insert mode, what I have to do, I will simply press, I will open this window terminal and I will press I. So as soon as I press I, if you see here below, it has changed to insert mode. Correct? So that means it is now into an insert mode and it will show me every content written here. Okay, so it will show all the contents written here, and you can now edit and type whatever you want from your normal keyboard as you normally type in a normal Windows Notepad or Notepad++, whichever tool you use. Okay, and now if I want to go back to my command mode, what I have to do? Simply I have to press escape key. Escape. See, now the insert what was mentioned here is gone. So I am back to my command mode. Clear? Okay. And if you are anytime confused whether which mode you are, okay, it is not showing you which mode you are not able to do it, just press escape key 2 times. So whichever mode you are, you will automatically go back to your command mode. Okay, so this is your normal how to open that. Okay, now let's say you have opened it. Right now I am not writing anything, but let's say I want to come out of this. Okay, come out of this screen. Okay, I want to close this file now. So what you can do, go to your command mode. Again, when I will say command mode, that means you have to press escape key. Okay, so I will say command mode, so I have pressed one escape key, and then what you have to simply do, escape. I have pressed escape for command mode, then colon Q. Okay, that is for quit. So that means it will close this file as soon as I press colon Q and hit enter key. Okay, and it will exit and it will come out of the VI editor. Okay, now see, it has not created anything. Why? Because I have not written any data in that file. So if there is not a single character added to that file will not be created. Okay, for the first time it will not be created, that file. Got it? Yes, yeah, let me show you. See, now again new file. What I have to do now, I have to go to insert mode to enter anything. I will press I and I will press escape key, sorry, space. Okay, I will press space and then I will press escape key, and then if I do Q, see, colon Q, now it will say that now it is not allowing me to exit directly. It's the same thing with your notepad. When you try to add anything to your notepad and try to close it, it says, right, there are changes that has not been saved. Do you want to discard them? Do you want to save and close, or you want to cancel that? Okay, same thing it is doing here, that there were changes that were made and that were not saved. Okay, so there are two options. Let's say I say I don't want to save that changes. I will press again escape key and say colon Q and exclamation mark. Now what does this mean? This means that quit the file without saving. Okay, it's the same thing in notepad, what it says, close without saving. So Q and exclamation mark. So whatever changes you have done from the last time when the file was saved, it will override that and it will not save any such thing, and it will come out of the file. And if I hit enter again, if you will see, file not created, because I have never saved that file first time also. Okay, so it has not saved that content, that was the space key that I have entered there. Clear? Okay, now next, moving ahead, now let's say I want to enter something, insert, and let's say I will enter hello, good morning. Okay, so it will work the same way like a normal notepad. I can hit enter and say it is 8 AM shell scripting class. Okay, it will work the same way in insert mode. Whatever you want to use backspace, delete, it will work the same way. Now once this is written, right, I have to save this file. Okay, to save this file, what I will do, again go back to a command mode. Okay, insert mode is for inserting, deleting, everything like normal keyboard how you use. Apart from that, you have to go back to escape mode. I will press escape mode and I will press and come back to my command mode here, and what I will do to save the file, now I have to save it. So what I will do, escape colon W. So what this will do, W means write, Q was for quit, W is for write. Got it? W is for writing to that file, and I hit enter and it will say 2 lines 52 characters written to this particular file. Clear? Okay, now if I want to exit, I can simply write, again come to command mode and press colon Q and hit and come out of here. Got it? Now again I will go back to the file. Let's say I want to insert more. Okay, so I will say in the next line I will say Okay, I have written some more. Now earlier what we did, we just save the file and then quit separately. Okay, now if I want that, I want to save and quit at the same time. Okay, save and quit at the same time. So what you will do, again go back to your command mode. I will come back to my command mode and I will say colon WQ. So what I am telling, that first save the file and then quit. Okay, so it will save the file and then quit the file. Hit enter and the file has been saved and it has been quitted. So if I want to just read the file, I will use cat. So these contents are written to that file. Clear? Okay. Now if I want to, let's say insert, let's say I want to insert something like plus. Okay, so then what you can do, if you go back to a command mode and then press ZZ, okay, capital, so that will also do. So what you have to do, earlier I do colon WQ for save and exit. Now next what I have to do, capital Z. So what you have to do, shift and press ZZ. So now what it will do, it will again do the same thing what the WQ has done. So if I open the file is have saved the changes. So you have to press double Z or Z, whatever you say, and you have to save that file again in the same way what normally colon WQ is doing. Clear? Okay. Yes, WQ. One more I will tell you. Okay, so now this is there. Again I will go to command mode and colon X. Okay, this is also an alternative. So 3 ways. So now see, I have one more line added. So you can use ZZ, this, and colon X. Okay, all are in command mode. Command mode you have to run it, it will save and exit the file. Got it? Any questions? Okay, now let's say you have opened this file. Okay, I have opened this file. Okay, so now in this file I will say, okay, I want to save, but I want to save with a different name, but this file is already there, right? This name is already there. So what I will do, again I have an option here. What I can do, colon W was for saving, but rather than just giving colon W, I will give it as file 2. So what I am telling, this is the second file, save this with a second file name, file 2, and enter, and see, now it has saved in file 2, and now I will just simply do shift ZZ exit. Now if you will see here, a new file is also created here with the same content. Got it? And which will have the same content here. So it's like your save as, when you open a file, particular file in Notepad, right? Then let's say that file is already there saved, but you want to save it as with a different name in a different directory. Okay, so you can use that save as option, right? It's like same thing, that you are saving the file but with a different name now. So both the files will exist, first file and the second file. Got it? Rename is the same thing. You cannot rename from inside, right? So you have to just do copy command, earlier that way tutorial. Okay, okay. But from here what we are doing, let's say you want to edit the file, right? So better, I have told you earlier, either you can go ahead and do a copy command and make a backup of that file, or you want to make a backup before editing this file. Let's say before editing this file, I want to take a backup, right? Before I enter anything, I want to say, okay, I want to take a backup. So I will take a backup using this method. So it will save it, and then you can open the file again and then start editing it. No, it will not rename the same file, because you have already saved with a particular name. Okay, because you open the file with a VI option itself. See, you are opening with a file name. So it is this file that it is opening. Again, if let's say I open it. Now to navigate, if you see the cursor, white color cursor that is there, right? That is there, highlighted white. So to move that cursor up and down to a specific location, you can use your arrow key, okay? Or by default, what you can use also is your keys which are there. K is for moving up, J is for moving down, H is for moving left, and L is for moving right. So these keys also you can use, H, J, K, L. That is on your keyboard in a sequence. H, J, K, L, J, K, L. These keys also you can use for navigating. So H is for left, going left, L is for going right, J is for going down, K is for going up. Okay. File 2, yes, yeah, yes. No, what we have done, we have saved the content. Let's save. At that time there was no content. Let me show you. Let's say I will enter something. Okay. Now if I say W and file 3, okay, and save it. Okay, so this will be saved in file 3 only. If you see, this file 3 gets opened here. Now no more your earlier file is there. Now if I go ahead and quit, okay, so that time it will ask you, see what you want to do. So if you do WQ, sorry, if you do WQ here, exit, then it will save you to this file. See, then only it will save you. If you just do quit right from this file, then it will not save in this file. Earlier I was just doing quit, right? So it was saying you have not used exclamation mark to override that close without saving. Getting it? So you have to save it. That's why earlier I do ZZ, okay, so that it will save and then exit. So file 3 it has saved that content in file 3, but on the file first also it needs whether you want to save it in file first or you don't want to save it in file first. So it's up to you. Okay, let's say I will give one more example. Let's say I will say date is, what is the date, 13 July 21, right? Now if I save it in file 3, okay, so file 3 it will save, and then because this file exists, right, so I have not used a exclamation mark to override that changes. Okay, so if you want to override that changes, you have to use exclamation mark. Oh, sorry, W. Okay, so file 3 it has saved it. Okay, now it has saved in file 3. Now what I will do, I will just quit. So it will say now it is quitting. So what it is quitting? It is quitting that, okay, you want to override. So it is quitting the first file that I opened, that was the vi first file .txt. So I will say quit exclamation mark. Okay, now if you see, there is a difference. Now the first file is not having that content. We are here till here learning, and in file 3 it has the date also, today's date. So when I have saved :W with file 3, it has saved the file, but the earlier original file what we were editing, that was not saved. Okay, so it's the same way, like as I told in your notepad, what happens if you have already a file, you edited it, and then you say save as and some new file name .txt. But when you will close the original file also, it will ask you whether you want to save that changes in this file also or no. So it's the same thing. If you do wq, it will save in both file. If you are not doing wq and you are doing q exclamation mark, it will not save in the original file which you actually opened. So original file remains same. Okay, got it. Now let's say I open file 3 only now. Okay, so we have this much data in this file 3. So you can move it depending upon your arrow key or whichever what we have seen, j at jkl. Okay, so you can also do 2j. So if you want to move 2 line 2j, so see it, the cursor earlier what I was doing, I was moving 1 1 1 1 at a time, right? 1 1 1 at a time. Let's say I am at today. If I want to jump 3 lines and directly come to this line up, so what I will do, if I use arrow key with 3, so see it has moved here. If you see it here, sorry, let me, the white cursor, it has moved here. So it has jumped 3 lines up. Same way if I did 2 lines down, the cursor should be 2 lines down. What I will do, 2, press 2 and J, or 2 or down arrow, whichever you want, whichever you prefer. So it will directly come to the second line, jump from the cursor leaving this line, and the cursor will come directly to this particular line. Clear? Okay. So this is how it will go ahead and move around. Okay. Now this we have seen moving around the files and saving the file, quitting the file, right? Now next thing is when you are editing, what are the options with editing? Okay, what are the various options when you edit the file? So for editing, what you have to do, let's say wherever my cursor is there, okay, this is my cursor here, right? I want to edit and enter something like 2021 rather than just 21. I want to enter 2021. So what I will do, I will press I again for insert mode, I, and I will just say to 0, and but you will see there is a space here, so I will use delete and I will come back with my arrow key. So cursor will normally move with arrow key and put a space here. So now it's 2021. So I have edited and changed it to 2021 in insert mode. Okay, got it? So when you press I means small normal I. Okay, no other key you have to press. So it will insert at the same position where your cursor is there. Okay, now I will press command mode and come back to my command mode. Now let's say you want to insert at the beginning of this line. Let's say you want to insert somewhere here, okay, before today, and currently I am here at 0. My cursor is at 0. Okay, so if I just press simple I, so what it will do, it will insert at the same location what we have just seen, but I want to insert at the beginning. So what I will do, I will simply go ahead and press shift I. So see, now it has changed to insert mode, but where my cursor is there, at the first character. So now whatever I will type hello, so it will write before that. Okay, so I is used for inserting where the cursor is there before that particular cursor or before starting of that line. Okay, so I is used. So if you use shift I, it will go to the beginning of the line and insert, and if you just use normal I, that goes to insert mode, it will insert before the current cursor. Clear? Okay, so in this line, let's say you added like this. Now let me say I will enter few things first. Hello. Okay, now I want to add something. Okay, my cursor is here. If I do I or shift I, it will go to either to before of this, here it will start writing, or it will go to beginning. But let's say I want to insert after where the cursor was there. There will be difference. You have pressed small I. Now let's say I want to say where sessions we have done till now, and I want to enter something after this cursor L. Okay, till okay L. Enough I press A. Okay, if I press A, see my cursor goes to the next character. I will again press escape key, and earlier I was pressing I. So see, my cursor was not moving next. It will, whatever it will write, if I enter anything, it will write before that particular character where the cursor was there. Whereas when I do A, just simple A, it will go to the next. So whatever I will type, okay, whatever I will type, where it will go? It will go next to that cursor. Okay, so small a will be used for going next to that particular cursor location. Clear? Okay, same way, now as we were having capital I, same way if you want to enter at the last of the line, like after now. Okay, so what I will do, I will simply press shift A. Okay, in command mode, everything whatever command I am pressing, they should be in command mode. Insert mode is for writing. Once you have done written or editing or deleting, just come back to a command mode using escape key. Okay, so normally I have a habit to keep pressing escape key before I execute any command, so that whichever mode it is there, it will come out. Okay, so I will now use shift capital A. So what it will do, it will go to end of that particular file. Okay, and now whatever I will enter, end of that line it will get entered. Count is 4. Okay, so it will enter at the end of that line. Got it? Shift A, you have to press shift A. Shift A. Same way I earlier normal I was pressing, and then shift I. Okay. Normally you will see whenever you will read somewhere, it will be written capital I. So capital I, how you achieve that? Using shift I only, right? So that's why it's shift I. Okay. Now, so see, it has added here. So this is clear in that particular line. Any doubts? Okay. See, VI is a very big tool to learn. Okay, so you have to practice. Now, let's say next what I have to do, I have learned how to edit that particular cursor location or the beginning of the line or that particular end of the line. But let's say I am at this line. Okay. Now I want to add a new line. Okay, insert a new line. So I have one option. I go into insert mode using A, I hit enter, and then it will open a new line for me, and then I will start writing. Okay, so rather than that, I will remove that. I will show you how I remove that blank line. So before that, let's say I am at this line. I simply want to write something below this line. Okay, I want to write something below this line. So what I have to simply press, I have to press O. Okay. So I will press O key on my keyboard, simple O, small o. Okay, hit enter, and as soon as I press O key, you will see it goes to the next line and it opens in insert mode. If you see at the bottom, it opens in the insert mode here. Clear? Now whatever you want to write, you can go ahead and write here, because it's already open in insert mode, so I don't have to worry. So I will just start writing. I add okay, so I will just simply enter like this. Clear? Got it? Now same thing, earlier my cursor was here, right? Let's say in this location. Now I want to insert a line above this line where my cursor is there. okay, above that. So what I will do, earlier I just used O, now I will use shift O. So see, it has opened up a new line, but where? At top of this, where my cursor was there. Okay. Got it. Now if I insert again, and again, and I will just save it for now and save it. Got it. Up, yeah, up to the line, up above the line where the cursor is there. See, it only depends where your cursor is there. So this white cursor that you are seeing, right, white highlighted, that is your cursor where it is moving. So based on that cursor, it will go shift up or down. Clear? Okay. So this way what we have learned, how to insert, okay, insert the data or write depending using various modes. So we have seen I, small I, capital I, small a, capital A, small o, capital O. Clear? Next thing is, we have seen how to insert. Now how to delete it, right? How to delete it, okay? It's not like normal. Either you have to simply go into insert mode and use your delete key, but there are quick methods also from the command mode directly, where you don't have to go into insert mode every time. Because insert mode, if you type something wrong, it might give errors or some issues also. So better to avoid more of those human errors, we try to run those deletes and everything in your command mode itself. Okay. Now to delete a character, what we have to use? Let's say these are the characters that I want to delete. See, these are junk characters I added, right? That's why I added. So now I want to delete them. Okay. So if I want to delete these characters where my cursor is there, from here to the right, okay, to the right, what I will simply do, I am just deleting characters for now, just note that. So I will press simply X as in your X-ray. So X, so what it will see, wherever my cursor is there, it will start deleting the characters towards right. Clear? Got it? And let's say I want to delete characters towards my left, okay, before that, where my cursor is there. So again the same method, what I will do, shift X. See, now it has started deleting the characters towards the left side. Clear? Okay. Now let's say I want to delete my word. Okay, again important thing, let's say I want to delete a particular word, okay, before the next word. So space it will take as the segregator, that okay, when the next word starts. Okay, so I want to delete, let's say, from the current cursor to till the next word is found. Okay, so what I will do, earlier we used X for deleting a character. Now to deleting a word, what I have to use, I have to use two things together, that is D and W. I have to press D first and then W. So it will delete word. DW is the short form for delete word. Okay, so I will press here and my cursor is at LS right now. I want to delete this word. So DW. So see, it has deleted till the next word. Till the next word is found. So to found the next word, it will take the space as the main segregator between them. Okay, to understand that okay, these are two different words. Got it? So it will delete. Let's say I want to delete these sessions. Okay, this session till done. Okay, so I want to delete this particular word. So what I will do, DW. So see, this is deleted. Clear? Okay, you can do that way also, delete specific characters, XXXX, keep pressing it, it will keep deleting it. But to do quickly the whole word, you can just simply do DW. Clear? Now let's say my cursor is here, let's say D. Now if I want to delete to the beginning, let's say what I do, I will use something called as D shift caret. Okay, so D shift caret, if you don't know what I am doing, D, and I have to use this sign. Caret sign is there on your keyboard, I think, at the 6th number, where the number 6 is written, there it is, the caret sign. Okay, so this is called the caret sign. Okay, so to delete everything before where your cursor is there, you have to use your D and the caret sign. So you have to press D first and then shift and that caret sign, so it will be used as the caret. Clear? If you see your keyboard, number 6, there would be something written at top of it, a small reverse V. You can see it is like a reverse V, right? Yeah, so yeah, that's an caret sign. That is called as a caret sign. We say it as caret sign. Okay, so you have to use D and caret sign together to delete everything towards beginning, or I normally say it towards left. If you want to delete everything till the beginning towards left, use D caret. Okay, now let's my cursor is here. I want to delete everything towards right. Okay, till the last. Now what I will use? D dollar. Okay, so again the dollar sign is your 4 number, if you see on the keyboard. So I will press D shift dollar. So see, everything where my cursor was there towards right will be deleted. Got it? Okay, now I will save it. Yes. Undo. Yeah, I will tell that. I will come to that part. Okay. Now let's say if you want to delete from your current cursor position, wherever your cursor is there, okay, towards the end. Okay, so what earlier we have seen, D to the particular end, right? D dollar was for your end of the line. Okay, same thing if I want to do using one more method. So what I can do, shift D, so that will also do the same thing. Okay, shift D, that is your capital D actually, capital D. Okay, so that will delete everything to the end. Got it? Now next, let's say I will add few more lines. Okay, don't get confused. I will show you how I did that copy paste quickly. We will come to that next. So let's say now I have these lines. Okay, I have these lines which I have already tampered, and now that data is gone already, right? That data I have already deleted, tampered. Now I don't want to keep this line anymore because what content was there I have already deleted, right? I have already removed the words, lines, everything. Now if I want to do and remove this, what I will simply do, I will go ahead and use something called as delete the line now, whole line. Earlier we were seeing from the current cursor position to beginning, current cursor position to the end, or the characters or the words. Now if I want to delete this whole line together, so what I will do, I will press DD, so it will actually delete. Okay, so no DD, it's just DD. Okay, simple DD. Okay, so note this is for your delete and cut operations. Okay, so when you will see cut, copy, paste, that time also DD will be used, and in delete also DD will be used. Okay, so DD means it has deleted. For now understand, DD has deleted the line. Okay, where your cursor is there. Let's say I want to delete this also, I will press DD, so it will also delete that particular line here. Clear? Okay. Now, as earlier I told, with the cursor movement, right? Cursor movement you can do J2. Okay. So what it was doing? It was jumping 2 lines. Okay. Same way in DD also, what we can do, you can delete 2 lines together. Let's say my cursor is here. Okay. Trainer name is Himanshu, and this line I want to delete both lines. This line, second line and the third line, I want to delete both. Sorry, third line and the fourth line. So I will bring my cursor here, and I know that if I press DD command, okay, so what it will do, it will simply delete this particular line, but I want to delete 2 lines from the current cursor position. Okay, so what you can do, D to D. So you can do 2 methods, either press 2DD or D to D. Okay, anything whatever you want to learn. Okay, so what it will do, it has deleted 2 lines at the same time. You can do D3D, so it will delete 3 lines, 4, 5, whatever number you want lines you want to delete, you can delete using that method. Clear? Okay, so that will be used for deleting that particular lines. Okay, now let's say, so this was how you delete it. Okay, now next is your other commands, that how you want to make any changes to that content. Okay, but not by deleting the whole lines, only some content you want to change. Okay, so we have few other options for that. So now what we do, we simply go ahead and write here, let's say CC. So see what it has done, it has removed the whole line, but it takes you to insert mode, that okay, you want to remove the line but you want to insert something new. Okay, so I have inserted something new and I will save it. So the command is called as CC. Okay, so it's like removing the content of the line and taking you to insert mode. 2 things it is doing together. DD was just deleting it, the line, but I want to replace the line or I want to rewrite the line, so I will use CC command. Okay, got it? Any doubts? Okay, now then what we have, let's say I want to replace this word. Okay, I want to replace the word professional. So what I will do, earlier I used CC, now I will use CW for the word. So see, it has removed the word and leaving you back into insert mode. Okay, working, I can enter IT. Okay, and I will save it. So CW will remove the word where your cursor is there. So it all depends where your cursor is there. CW, it will delete the word but taking you back to insert mode for replacing that content, that okay, I want to replace that. If you just want to delete it, use DW, but if you want to replace that word, use CW. Clear? Okay. Now let's say I want to replace this Himanshu H, currently it's written in capital H, I want to replace it with a different character. Let's say I want to replace it with let's say Y or something. Okay, so to replace it, what I have to simply do, I will come, move the cursor to that particular character which I want to replace and press R key. As soon as I press R, it will go into replace mode for that character and I just have to type. I don't have to do anything, I will just type let's say any character here, K. So it will replace that H with the new character and you can save it. Got it? Okay. Now if I want to say I want to go into replace mode for multiple characters, what I have to do? Shift capital R. So see, it goes into replace mode. Shift capital R, not small r, it's capital R, so that's why I'm using Shift R. So that will take it into capital R. So now it will replace mode. Now whatever I will do, it will keep replacing characters. L, I, N, U, X. So see, shell is replaced by Linux here. So it has gone into your replace mode. Okay. Now if you want to come out of replace mode, again the same thing, escape, and your whole word has been replaced. The character has been replaced here. Got it? Okay. Now let's say if I want to replace the character with the character whatever you type, so let's say I will press S. So it has removed that, but it has removed R and taken you to insert mode. Now whatever I will type, Himan, so it will now change it to HIMANS. So K is replaced by H, but the difference here is that it has removed that particular character and then taken you to insert mode. Earlier when we used a small r was just going ahead and doing it for a particular single character. Here it has removed that character where I have put the cursor and press S, and then it will simply go ahead and into insert mode and enter whatever you want to enter. So still it is in insert mode until unless you don't press escape key here. Clear? Yeah, see, earlier what we have seen, let's say R was what it was doing, it was just replacing a single character. So in place of M, I am using F, right? So it replaced it, simple, done. But now I say I want to replace it, but I want to insert also something. So what I can do, I will use a character known as S as in New Singapore. Okay, S. So what it has gone, it has deleted that character where my cursor was there. My cursor was at F character. Now F character is deleted. Now it has taken me to insert mode. That now whatever you want to insert, let's say M, I want to insert multiple M, I can insert that. Okay, and I have to come out of insert mode using your escape key for going back to your command mode. Clear? Okay. Now next again, let's say I have again the same thing, capital S. Okay, so it will remove everything from that line and you can simply go ahead and do that. So wherever you are, it will remove from that, delete the whole line, and you can replace it with a new text. Okay, like got it. So that was a small r, capital R, small s, capital S. Got it? Okay. Now you guys are getting late or something for office or something. 9:15, 9:15, right? 1:5. Okay. So I will just cover copy and paste, then tomorrow we'll continue. VI is a big topic, so we will continue tomorrow. But I will just simply four more commands are there. Simple. Copy and paste what we have seen just now. Okay, what I did. Okay. So now till now what we have seen: insert, delete, changing character, replacing character. Correct? Now let's say I want to copy the current line. Let's say I want to copy this line. They are working in IT company. I want to copy it. Again, make sure whatever command we are using, you have to be in command mode. Okay, make sure you have pressed escape key. Now if I go ahead and just simply do to copy. So to copy, what I will do, yy is known as, the word is called as yank. Okay, yank, yank. Okay, in Linux terms it's yank. So I will press yy. Okay, so it has copied this line now. Once this line is copied, where do I want to paste it? So where, let's say I want to paste it here in this line, this cursor is here. I want to paste it below this line or above this line, depends on you. Let's say I want to paste it below. I will do P, normal P, paste, and it will paste below that. If I want to paste it above that, I have to do Shift P. Okay, so to yank or copy is for your copy, and to paste you have a small p and capital P. Small p again same thing, it pastes below, and capital P pastes above that particular line. Clear? Any doubts? Now same thing like in DD we have seen, we have to remove multiple lines. Same way yank, if I want to copy 5 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines till here, Fred and Rajesh. Okay, till here I am to copy. So what I will do, yanking y 5y. So 5 lines yanked. If you see, 5 lines has been copied. If you are copying one line, it will not show you this message. More than one line, it will show you below. And let's say I want to paste it here. Okay, so I will simply do P to paste it below where my cursor is there. So it has just pasted it. Got it? Now next you have word. If I want to copy a particular word, so what I will do, YW. So it will copy that word, and let's say I want to paste it here. So I will simply go ahead and paste it, but where it will paste? It will paste you here where your cursor is there. Okay, because you have just copied a word. Clear? Any question? Okay, so this way you copy and paste. Okay, now if someone says cut and paste, so cutting and paste is very simple. Again you have to use the same DD command, either for delete or for cut you have to use DD only. And I will come here and let's say I want to remove these 2 lines. It's 8 AM and 10 AM is Himanshu. I want to cut this line from here and paste it below. So what I will do, D to D, it has deleted or cut, and I will paste it below or let's say above. So I will use Shift P and it has pasted above that particular line. So it has removed. Clear? Okay. So D. Okay. So this way you can use copy and paste. Got it? Now tomorrow we'll continue further from here. Okay. There are still more things left. How to search, how to replace. Okay. How are the other options? Okay. So maximum, like whichever is more useful, that one only I am covering. Still VI is very big. Okay. There will be number of commands that will never end. But whichever are very important, that I am covering. Okay. Now I will stop it here for today, and based on the VI you can create a file on Linux. Let's say create your own profile or resume using your VI, normal text file, nothing fancy there, but create a resume using VI on Linux assignment. Okay, and try to use. Tomorrow I will tell you, like, there is one more tool from where you can exercise VI actually. Okay, but just check on your servers. I will save this file for now. Check on your servers whether Google Ping is working or not for you guys. Okay, if it is working, then we can install that tool, else leave that tool. For me, like, it's working, so we will install it tomorrow. You can check. Yeah, pardon? Yeah, Yeah, you can check, like if you have used the same way how we have done in the previous first session, like the bridge adapter, if you have given, then it should work. If you have not given, then there might be issue, but if you have given the bridge adapter, it will work. Okay, so I will stop it here today. I will upload the video, let you know. Okay, thank you. I will end the meeting now.